Let's dive into some Charlie Parker together, shall we? I'm Ron Drotos from KeyboardImprov.com. Thanks for being here for my and our 91st installment of Journey Through the Real Book, Dexterity by Charlie Parker. I remember in the mid-'80s when I studied with Billy Taylor, great jazz pianist who had played with Parker. He said that learning the heads, the melodies of bebop tunes was a great way to learn the language of soloing. Because, you know, what does he do here? He just outlines the chord. And he circles around that note. And then 2 chord tones in a row. Goes up to the 9th. And then finally, sort of a extension, alteration, color note, dissonance, if you will. It's the flat 9 in the F sharp. So you can solo using that same concept. Some chord tones. It's all there in these melodies. By the way, Charlie Parker liked to do these start-stop kind of phrasing. Stop. Stop. Little pockets of energy, sort of like phrases. Now I'm going to say this, and now this, now this, now this, and now this. And you can distinguish his writing from other bebop writers, composers, because of that. Most of the time he did that. Even Confirmation has a lot of that in it, which is a little more legato. So that's why you take a tune like Donna Lee, for instance, and some people say Charlie Parker wrote it because his name's on the copyright. But when I got to know Max Roach, great jazz drummer who played with them in the 90s. I got to know him in the 80s, played with them back in the 40s and 50s. He said that Miles Davis wrote the tune and Parker just took credit, or maybe the record company just put his name on it. I don't know. But Donna Lee has a much longer phrase before it has that stop. And that's a characteristic of Miles Davis writing, if you look at more of his tunes. Anyway, just a little food for thought there. So let's dive into this. One thing that I like to do is to see if I can play rhythm changes in a way that is sort of in this bebop kind of style, right? Because it's a bebop tune. But to bring some of my own sense of phrasing into it. And I think that's our goal as jazz musicians. It's to learn the language, not as an end result to play like Charlie Parker, but to actually express ourselves through that language. Just like right now, I'm expressing myself through English, you're understanding me through English, or if you speak another language, you can express yourself there too. That's really the ultimate goal. It's not necessarily, I think, to play, quote, bebop, even though that's fun, right? But we're expressing ourselves through bebop. Rhythm changes did not come easy for me when I was starting out, and for many years, even if I could play them on a quote professional level, I wasn't really happy with my playing because I didn't feel free with the phrasing within them. I tended to play the same, not necessarily the same notes, but the same phrase lengths all the time, and I was in the same, like a rut, really a rut. So one thing I'm doing with this series of videos is to help you break out of that, give you some practice ideas, like, you know, this start-stop. You could start there, or you could start playing longer phrases. Whatever you don't normally do, start doing them. Thanks for being here. If you're interested in Skype lessons, please email me, Drotos at KeyboardImprov.com. I have hundreds of lessons in my video course. I'd like to help you work through your way through those too. Good luck with your playing, and practice hard.